Here we are again. I woke up again alive. Holy shit. I keep doing it. Don't know how. Must be from keeping my coffee system up to the proper level. What day is it today, guys? It is. What do we got here? It's Thursday. Thursday, October 16th, 2025. Holy shit. It's raining outside. It's cold. Fall is surging on fast. We might even actually maybe have an actual real winter maybe for a change. Although I think Sarah said there's some kind of farmer's something. She talked to me about a sign in nature that tells the farmers whether or not it's going to be a long or short winter. She said, well, it's looking like it's going to be a short winter. I'm like, oh, well, it's looking like it's going to be a raging beginning. For me, that's exciting. Anyway, yeah, it's chilly out there. I just went and fed the chickens. There's a kabillion chicken feathers in the coop. And I just went and fed the horses. And there are 2 eagle feathers in the horse barn. And no, I didn't have any cameras on last night. There's the update. Now, who are we going to hear from today? Who are we going to hear from today? It's funny, yesterday, caught a comment. Imagine being able, imagine how wrong something must be between your ears today if you actually think that you, hold on a minute, can tell somebody you are badly out of line. Holy shit. Some absolute piece of shit pedophile worshiper commented on our channel with that to me yesterday, so I pinned him. I pinned the piece of shit pedophile worshipping waste of skin. Imagine going through life thinking that you just might be in some place above everybody in the crowd, be able to say, hey, you're out of line. Really? Well, like I said in the pinned comment, if you really feel strongly about that and you want to do something about it, please bring yourself and maybe even rent a couple buses and fill them up with your like-minded PETA-worshipping pieces of shit and come on over. ASAP. Why a couple bus loads? So we can clean up as many of the problems as we can at the same time. That's why. I don't put up with shit from anybody, especially PETA-worshipping pieces of shit. And I know the majority of the planet doesn't put up with that shit either, and it's getting a little out of hand. Right? PETA-worshipping pussy. Come on over. Come on over. It's kind of dealing. Sarah doesn't like it when I get like that, but whatever. Somebody has to. So I tried to go. She goes, why do you do that? I go, because somebody has to. I'm not taking any shit from pieces of shit. It's kind of funny when you think about it. I was laughing. I go, my God, can you imagine something like that went down an hour dirt dead-end road in this neighborhood? The dust would be settled in probably less than 6 minutes. 100 years ago. And all the heavy equipment would be coming out of all of these driveways to clean up the mess and bury it. Probably less than 10 minutes. Anyway, all right, enough of that. Enough of that. You're out of line. Yeah, tell me all about it, pussy. Tell me all about it. Don't wear out your little soft fingertips on your keyboard while doing it, too. Anyway. Let's get into hearing from our family members, our club members, our brave people around the world that come here and bravely tell truth. Okay, this is titled Corbin Dallas, a little clarifying piece of the puzzle. Steve, I use Corbin Dallas as my avatar / pen name in all my social media accounts. All right. Yeah, somebody said that was the name of Bruce Willis in one of those movies at the airport. I started the subject line of all the emails I have sent you with Corbin Dallas, so you can search for and group them easily. I've also left many thought-provoking comments on your videos, which I think you and the How to Hunt family will like and find very informative. The Amarok, A-M-A-R-O-K, is the ancient name used by peoples from Alaska to Finland to Siberia for what we now call Dogman. They hate to be called that, by the way. So do I, which is why I never use it. How do I know that? As I've said, I've had an extraordinary journey as well. The ladies I refer to are not your First Nations lady friends, although they are equally as wonderful. The ladies I refer to are super advanced human females of non-terrestrial origin. You are your First Nations lady friends would call them the Star People. No shit. They've been known by many names throughout our history. Hathor, Sekhmet, Isis, Asherah, Ishtar, Diana, Mary. They were known in Athens, in Delphi, at Lourdes, and Fatima as goddesses. They are in charge of all the Terran Earth operations. Terran Earth operations. All the UFOs, all the Sabe, and Amarok answer to and are guided by them. As am I, and as are you, now my friend. Hope this helps clear things up some. Nope, not at all. Cracked open about 10 more cans of worms, man. I hope this helps clear things up some. In all my comments and emails, you will find many of your and the How to Hunt family's questions answered. And if not, at least pointing you in the correct direction to look. I think you'll find the information is helpful and truly fascinating. Your friend, Corbin Dallas. P.S. This was originally posted in the comments section of your last video. It was promptly auto-deleted by YouTube's Thought Police algorithms. No shit. That ought to tell you something. LOL. Wink, wink. Know what I mean? Well, we'll see. I guess I'm going to have to search your name up and put them all together and have a blast through them and try to make sense of all that. Because obviously it's a bold statement to make publicly, right? That you're in contact with the Star People, the ladies, and they're in charge of blank, 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 and they answer to them. Okay, well, if that's the case with such a bold, confident statement, there's got to be a whole pile of shit to share leading up to being able to make that bold statement, right? I'm all about hearing it, reading it. Wonder why you keep your name... Why do you keep your name anonymous again? There's Corbin Dallas says my avatar host social media accounts. Okay, you didn't say why. Why you keep your name hidden. I'd like to know that too. Just out of absolute curiosity. My brain asks questions all day, every day of my lifetime. That's all my brain does. Just try to find out why. Make sense of shit. This is titled Norm in Alaska number 2. Feathers and Bloodlines. Mr. Isdall, my full name is okay to share. It's my second letter to you, and I have no idea if you read my first letter. Excuse me. It is below. I love your show, but I also keep busy, and I can't spend all my time listening to things. I hear you. I'm writing in reaction to the first letter that you read on October 14th, 2025 episode, The Thing Was So Heavy It Shook the House When It Walked by the Window. And about the feather stuff going on at your place. First, the letter. The author of the letter made an interesting point about how you might find yourself in the thick of things due to bloodlines. Then you shared some information about your heritage and your Norwegian heritage. My father was Norwegian. My parents married in Oslo, where I was conceived. I identify strongly with my Scandinavian half, which also includes a little Swedish and a whole lot of Finnish. Apparently the Sullies mixed genetically with the migration of the Finns into northern Norway. I also have a long history of odd stuff going on that seems to relate to the night people, including one sighting. My experiences are different, though. They treat me very gently. No scary stuff, just some teasing and practical jokes. Patterns. I wonder if the wording in that letter about asking, quote, the ladies, end quote, might be a reference to mind speak with some female Sasquatch. That would imply that the author was herself a woman, since the etiquette seems to be male on male, female on female communication, except when trustability is proven. No connection for me to King Harold, though, as far as I know. I think that we Sullies were dirt-poor Norwegians until my father's generation. And farmers. My first name, Norman, means man of the north. I am in my favorite place now, Alaska. That's just about far enough north. Last name, Sullie, means sunny side of the hill, probably the name of a farm or farming community. Isdall is ice Dal equals Dale or Valley, Ice Valley. Sounds like your people came from somewhere up north as well. I can see why that is where you want to be. Reminds me of the Glacial Valley in some of your opening credits. Yeah, I think the majority of my family came from Stavanger. By the way, if you and Sarah want to check out deep rural Alaska, I'll provide the base accommodations, both a small house with running water and a cabin, a short hike off in the road system. Standing invite. Appreciate that huge. We'd have lots to talk about. Big game around here too. Time it right and you could head south for the salmon / steelhead / trout / grayling fishing. I'd never leave. I thought you might find the Norwegian connection interesting, particularly since I too feel I have a mission or assignment associated with the hairy ones. I'm on my 3rd assignment now. This current work is absorbing most of my time these days. This current work is absorbing most of my time these days, and I feel driven to complete a very time-consuming project. Driven in a good way. I will share the project with you sometime. The thing about these assignments is that they are assignments I and you are perfectly suited for and actually want very much to do. I think that you enjoy sharing people's letters and rambling. You also love facing your fears and traipsing about in the woods. And I think that second component of being at home in the woods is very important and part of why whatever finds you someone they can work with. The more connected people are with nature, the easier the communication. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Back to the feathers. In the lower 48, eagle feathers would be extremely significant and illegal to possess. Definitely associated with indigenous spirituality. Good medicine, so to speak. But you have them nearby, literally laying on the ground, so maybe not so significant in and of themselves. Do eagle feathers have any particular meaning to you? This choice of an offering might have more to do with you than with the gifter. Clearly, you are dealing with something that is not inconvenienced by walls and netting and is able to calm or at least not be noticed by your animals. There's a lot more out there besides Sasquatch. You could be dealing with a Sasquatch skilled in such arts or be dealing with something else entirely. I don't have to tell you, the psychology and the values of whatever you are dealing with could be very foreign to you and me. However, eagle feathers left with calm animals seems pretty high on the benevolent scale. Your privacy, an illusion anyhow, I believe, has been invaded. But I doubt you are any less safe today than you and Sarah were before the first feather showed up. Something's trying to form a connection with you. One theory I consider in my experiences, there are phenomena out there that require to be believed in before they can manifest into our 3D world. Some quantum gobbledygook about consciousness creating our reality. Perhaps the feathers are being slipped under a door to somewhere else. If you don't want that door open, the trail cams are a good idea. I have some personal experiences with mysterious found objects from just the last couple of months, but I need to get to my mission. I'll get back to you soon. Thanks. Norman Sullie. And then here's the other email. Steve, I hope you're back to 100% health. It was very stubborn of you to keep recording through your trip and then your illness. Thank you. When was this? February 2025? You may use my name if you like, but please don't share my telephone number. Lucky you told me, otherwise I was going to post it. I'm kidding. Full disclosure, I have a research paper on twig breaks being considered at a publication now, and I'm working on a 3-volume book set on Sasquatch, which can be summed up as 1, we have all the evidence we need to treat them as an uncontacted tribe of close relatives that do not want to be contacted. Number 2, there is evidence in the fossil record that might suggest that Sasquatch are more human than we think. Number 3, there are some damn weird things going on with them. These weird things are not necessarily beyond our own abilities. I thought I would focus in this letter on a question that you asked on your, February 16th, 2025 video. Do you think they are here full time? Perhaps some do find a home range that they can live in year-round, but I have come to believe that they have other options somehow. in most of North America. Case in point, I spent a lot of years in interior Alaska, in and north of the Alaskan Range. You can guess what that means in terms of climate. 7 months of winter, with temperatures dropping at times to -40. Take your pick on centigrade or Fahrenheit. Not a lot of light, not a lot of life moving about. The bears all take cover for the duration, but they hibernate, or something like hibernation. Moose slowly lose weight as they eat on the 40-plus species of willow and birch and aspen. It's a tough place to make a living. One winter in early January, I took a 250-mile snow machine-supported fat tire bike trip past the last road out to a couple cabins friends had on a remote creek lined with white spruce and cottonwood. The temperatures were a mild 10 to 15 above 0 Fahrenheit, but there had been a Chinook a week or two before, boosting the temperature up to just about freezing. You could see it in all the polished ice on the creek and melting of snow off rocks, etc. I soon began noticing things as I walked down alone upstream beyond the cabins. 5 pebbles in a perfectly spaced line on the river, partly melted into the smooth 2-foot thick ice. I heard some wood knocks. I found 13-inch tracks, half melted into the wind-blown snow on top of the creek ice, 4 feet from the toe of one foot to the toe of the next foot, walking tightrope style. A pile of human-looking scat out in the open on the ice with faint impressions of the same 13-inch tracks flanking the pile. And I heard some odd vocals when I stepped out of the cabin during a breakfast. The vocals sounded like an alarmed female calling for help. The lined-up rocks on the ice looked like a bored kid playing in the warm weather. Another odd thing about this trip was that the abundant caribou in the area were hardly... Sorry, guys. One more time. Another odd thing about this trip was that the abundant caribou in the area would hardly bother to look up or get off the trail for people on snow machines, but would run in fear if they spotted you on foot from 750 feet away. Sasquatch in interior Alaska in the winter makes no sense. The Neanderthals could not penetrate into the northern reaches of Europe during the last ice age because it was just too cold even for them. Allegedly. And winter Alaska is covered in snow. A large animal leaves a lot of tracks in snow that are very hard to miss. But we don't find that many tracks in the snow in Alaska. But we do get quite a few reports when there is no snow. And yet, found some tracks. And the caribou were spooked. And those pebbles were lined up so evenly on the ice where no human kids had likely been for years or ever. But there were caribou there in quantity. My guess, based on my Alaska experiences and what I'm finding now in New England, Sasquatch can indeed change locations, or have their locations changed when they want or need to. We hear it in reports all the time. Yeah, they're here every year, right up until hunting season, or then they're gone. Then they came back again in the spring. And I don't know how they do it. Some groups may head for wild coasts on foot and work the tidelands. But that can't explain what happens in most places. They leave for somewhere somehow when the weather turns cold or the woods are filled with hunters. And they come back when their food sources are accessible again. One other out there theory I kick around sometimes, perhaps they have help in keeping them off trail cams and off of dissecting slabs. No disrespect to the forest people, but they aren't rocket scientists. Yes, very well adapted, but wouldn't a big old male drop dead of a heart attack in a suburban alley now and then? Or a kid take a wrong turn and stumble into a wedding party? I wonder if something else isn't watching over them and keeping our two species apart. A few have already speculated that there seems to be rules that govern the interactions between us. There also seems to be someone watching this game to make sure the rules are followed. Maybe the orbs have something to do with this third party. Maybe sometimes when we hear mind speak or feel compelled to make ourselves scarce, it is this other masquerading as Sasquatch. I could go on for a while about boring experiences in 5 U.S. states, but I have work to do. Next letter, please. Thanks. Okay, Norm, thanks, man. All of us puzzle owners trying to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, I never dictate anything to anybody. I always say, if I strongly feel about something, I say, well, this is where I may be. I'm not going to tell anybody that's the way it is. I'm just going to say, well, I'm leaning towards this. Or I'm getting pretty convinced of this when it comes to me and my puzzle, right? And from the people that I know and the things they have seen and what I've witnessed, I do believe absolutely 100% for me that these beings are have absolute supernatural capabilities without a doubt. Do I believe they have to physically migrate over the face of the planet? No, I don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't believe it now, not at this stage of the game. Also, I believe it was Melba that said they had a DNA sample from, I think it was southern Texas, I think, and an exact match in northern Saskatchewan. And I do believe there was a DNA sample here in North America and an exact match in Europe. I wonder how many ships have seen Sasquatch swimming across the Atlantic. Yeah, there's a bunch of weird shit going on, without a doubt. But keep me updated on how your puzzle's doing and the new pieces that you get, all right? I want to hear it all. All. Whether I agree or not, I want to hear it all. Excuse me. Who's next? All right, I don't know what this is about. It's titled A Theory. Hi, Steve, me again. I've been following along. The share with the so-called ancient being that the woman had added some info, added some info for me. The vision thing. She said he was actively obscuring her vision. This could be called cloaking as well. I sense a pattern. According to some of the scientists at the round table, Sabe has the ability to control his physiology to an extraordinary degree, as I've postulated before. I think they are masters of Qi. Qi is the only non-physical force that I had seen clear, convincing evidence of, other than gravity. I have created it myself, but that's the wrong word. I've been able to access it in my own small way. A physical manifestation of an energy directed and tapped into by thought. I have made a ball of Qi you can roll from hand to hand. Wow, that sounds crazy. All of it is tapping into the electromagnetic fields of the planet. The first thing you learn in Qi Gong, pronounced Qi Gong, well, why didn't they spell it that way? I always say that. It's spelled Q-U-I-G-O-N-G, but it's pronounced C-H-I-G-O-N-G. Is how to reach down and tap into the energies in the earth to reach out and access the force in the heavens. The idea being to free your mind and open you to the outside universe. Now, if you could wrap that chi around yourself, the effect the water molecules in the air, and affect the water molecules in the air, you could effectively bend light. Turn all the water in the air into tiny mirrors and just bend someone's vision around where you're standing. You create a void in their sight like a rock in a stream. They see around you. Could be. Who the F knows? One other thing. Why did Lucretius, L-U-C-R-T-I-U-S, call them Homo troglodytes? That implies they live underground. Hollow Earth theory. Edgar Rice Burroughs' Pellucidar. Probably pronounced that wrong. Sounds crazy, but maybe they just wink down into their homes in the earth. I know, sounds just as crazy as aliens creating them to do their mining. I struggle to explain it all in a way that doesn't defy everything we do now. Anyway, for you, Steve, research China's 100-year plan. We're in about 75 years. Look up the People's War. That's what's going on in the world. A Cliff Notes version of Frank Herbert's novel Hellstrom's Hive tells how the complete globalist ideologues would like to reform the planet's population. 500 million little happy worker drones, thinking blissfully in unison, sustaining the entity. Anyway, be careful out there, Bill. Gotcha, man. Yeah, there's definitely some crazy shit going on, right? Yep, a lot of crazy shit. I was just listening to this guy. I forget his name. Unfortunately, he's a pretty solid dude. Has a lot of experience on the planet. And what did he say there? I was listening to a podcast. Woke up this morning early today. He said something to the effect of, he goes, yeah, going to the UK. He goes, I'm not going to the UK. Keir Starmer might arrest me for something I said online 10 years ago. He says, I'm not going to the UK ever. The UK, ground zero for hell, as far as I'm concerned, right now, currently. The globe, there's so much stuff going on, you guys, it's crazy. But I don't think too many people watch and listen, you know? I think the majority, like, you know, the good little workers, I think the majority of the population has been that good little worker for quite some time. And it's real shitty to watch, you know? It's real shitty to watch. And especially when, you know, it's like that dog that's been beat and put in a cage. All the dog's got to do is run away. And then it stops, you know? But it's funny how you just get put in line, in a way. And you do what you're told, no matter how discomforting it is. You know, the government raises basically everybody's children now, right? Everybody's got to work. Mom and dad go to work. The children get raised in daycare and they get taught. They get taught from somebody else, for the most part. Not everybody, I know. There's a lot of homeschoolers out there. Thank God for you people that are homeschooling. Thank God. There's hope. Because it all starts with the next generation. And I remember I became enlightened to that years and years and years ago from a Syrian Christian doctor. He explained how it always starts with the next generation. That's how change starts. That's why Charlie Kirk was assassinated. That's absolutely why. He was getting attention from and giving people a voice at the schools. Right? That's ground zero for change in the control. It's ground zero for starting people fighting about dumbass shit to keep us fighting with each other. It's the worst thing that could happen is everybody coming together for the parasites. It's the worst thing if we all came together. And the worst thing as well would be if everybody just stopped. Just stop. I'm down. I'm game, man. Just stop. Stop. Stop working. Stop delivering. Stop everything. Stop dead. Well, how would we take care of each other? How would we pay for the bills? Well, then we just take care of each other. Hey, you need some food down there? You need some fuel? We got some extra. We got this. Just make sure you stay at home and stop. We'll take care of each other until these parasites fizzle. How long do you think it would take for the parasites to fizzle if we just stopped? Think about it. How long would it take? Would it be hours? Right? And then they pull the guns. They'd pull the guns on the people. And the people that held the guns are people that grew up with the people. How embarrassing and tragic is that? That it's so easy for these parasites to put a uniform and a badge and the guns in the hands of our citizens and turn them on us. It's so sad and tragic, isn't it? It's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And to any of you that are watching and you're in that position, you know you can go have a job, get a job somewhere else and find a pension somewhere else. You know that, right? Instead of turning on your own kind, no matter how absurd it is. You know, like people that are going to somebody's house to arrest them for a social media post. Anybody that does that, holy shit, you're a low life. You have found yourself in such a low life position in the world today. Your existence is just embarrassing if you are willing to turn on your community, no matter how outrageous it is what you are enforcing, and you do it anyway. It's so tragic. You are such a lost soul engulfed in the darkness. It's going to be shitty, you know, when you think about the people who gleefully enforce the nasty shit against the people. If or when, well, it'll be when, but I don't know if it'll be in our lifetime, but when the shit flies, the people are going to remember your face, and the people are going to remember what you did, and you're probably not, it's not going to be too good for you. You guys should look up, you get a chance to, I tried to post it and reposted it a while back. I found a picture in Germany post World War II of all of the mainstream media, the people in charge of mainstream media in Germany during World War II, and there's a photo, and they're all hanging from lampposts down the street. Rightfully so. I'm just saying. Oh, everybody needs to get together and see the bright light, and just stop this shit. And all you people who chose the wrong career currently today, which is enforcing and collecting money for the parasites, man, you got to get yourself checked before it's too late. Like, oh. Anyway, ramble-bambling. Who else do we got here? All right, who's next? Who's next? This email is titled PTSD/veterans. Hi, Brother Steve, and a warning. There's a book ahead. Actually, nope, it's not that long. But thanks for the heads up. It doesn't matter, I'm reading it. I just listened to you read an email from Chris of the Arizona 4. It was so touching when he shared about the presence of the Mogollon monster, a.k.a. Bigfoot, that paid a night visit as a medicine man. Chris got up and experienced so much healing in his right arm. I started crying, wiping my tears when you were wiping your sweat, and I started laughing. And I honestly don't have a problem with your pronunciation for Mogollon. I giggled. And I know you like to pronounce words correctly. Oh, and for the anal people out there, which I wouldn't think there are many. The reason I know how to pronounce Mogollon is because I was born and raised on the Mogollon Rim of eastern Arizona, a.k.a. the White Mountains. My dad and grandpa used to talk about the Mogollon monster. Us kids knew they meant Bigfoot and just thought the adults did that to control us to be home before dark or get to bed. And as an adult, I finally told my dad that I figured out that the MM was Bigfoot, right? And do you or Grandpa have any stories? He just smiled. I am sorry I never asked again, or my grandpa. I know my grandpa would have shared if he had an experience. My dad was too protective. And after years of motherhood, and now a grandmother of many years, I have concluded it is better to protect or arm your offspring with knowledge. Holy shit, amen. Is it ever? Maybe it's been my late dad that has realized that and has always wanted his posterity to know better and do better. I am a believer even though I've never seen a forest friend with my own eyes. I've only experienced mind speak and knew as them. Only. Hard to put in words unless you have experienced a voice and just know the source. Before I heard Chris's story, and some of Kevin's about how benevolent they can be here in Arizona, at least that's what I want to believe, I would suggest for some veterans of war and or people of domestic violence who suffer from PTSD may possibly experience a healing while we are sharing home space in a respectful way. If there are some brave souls or unbelieving souls with good intent, I believe can go out in the wilderness in a reverent manner and simply ask for a healing. If it is to be, it will be. For some, it's in their highest good to continue with an affliction. Blessings to you, Steve, your family, and our humane family. And thank you for being a brave soul, showing the world what it looks like to live your mission by living your truth. You are light. You are a humble man and seek and speak the collective truth. An army of us are energetically connected because of your efforts. Of the highest, I thank you. Kind words, super kind words, and I appreciate that, Valerie. And I wish nothing but the best for you. Your family. We're all family here. obviously taking care of each other. And, yeah. What an interesting place to grow up. I'm surprised you hadn't had a visual. Am I surprised you had Mindspeak? No. I'm not surprised at... Well, actually, when it comes to receiving end of what's going on the strange side of things, I'm not surprised about anything anymore. Nothing. I'm not surprised about nothing. Like if I woke up and there was 50 eagle feathers in the hay barn, it wouldn't even fizz me at this stage of the game. I'd be just like, oh yeah, good one. Hurry up and keep moving on with it. Or whatever I'd probably say out loud in there. But anyway, I could really babble about a lot of things, but I won't. I'm gonna keep rolling along here today. I got a lot to do. This cold weather's got me. It's funny. I was sharing with Sarah the other day. I think she's scared I'm gonna run into the woods and never come back one day, because I always tell her how much I love it out there. Like, I love it more than anything. If I could, I probably would be out there full time. I mean, what we hunted? I think I did a month altogether hunting in the northern BC, and it just bugs me coming home. Still, it's like, oh, I just want to get back out there. It's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy seeing the golden leaves in the trees, the cool temperatures. All the wildlife is at its prime, its finest, in adventure, clean water, fresh air, exercise, connecting. Absolutely connecting with the real world. Yeah, can't wait. It's coming soon again for me. But anyway, moving along. I could just rattle off on about so many topics right now. If I could, I think I would possibly try to encourage the entire world to stop. Just stop. Flatline. Stop. Just stop. And realize that you have the power to stop. And as soon as you stop, the parasites will die and fall off. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you take a game animal, especially here in Vancouver Island, when you take a game animal, or even anywhere, you take a game animal and there's ticks, and the blood stops pumping, the parasite ticks fall off immediately. They just fall off and hit the ground. They're squirming around the dirt because they can't suck the life out of the host anymore, because the host has stopped feeding them. That's about the equivalent of what's going on today. We got these nasty ticks that can't do shit without us. Just stop, man. Just stop. They should go get a great big banner and hang at one of those overpasses on the highway and stand beside it. Just stop. Just stop. It's such an easy thing. Such an easy remedy. Just stop. Stop and watch them fall into the dirt, squirming, looking for their next meal, which they're not going to find. Then when they're squirmy, you stomp them into the ground. Anyway, share my story at howtohunt.com. I think Sarah's got somebody coming on here with me shortly here. So if you get an email from her, I think she's emailing. I don't know what she's emailing from. True Talk? Does she have an email? Is that what it is? TrueTalk@howtohunt.com. If you see that in your inbox, it's not spam. Maybe check your spam. I don't know. But if you want to, you got something important to share with the planet, well, you still can. Share my story at howtohunt.com. The Canadian government's really hammering through a bill right now that makes them be able to anytime kick you off of the internet, take your phone away, take your computers, see what's on all your devices at any time without an excuse. They're doing that right now in Canada, Stan. Isn't that great? What a lovely place. This isn't even this is not a country here. This isn't a country here. It's just another piece of land hosting a bunch of slaves in answer to some pieces of shit in the UK. Currently, I think the entity is in a slimy, dark hole in the sewers, in the dungeons of the UK, underneath the UK current government. I think that's where that piece of shit is. Okay, I'll stop. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be back later.